US President Donald Trump is meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping in Beijing for a second and final day of the talks. And Trump is aiming to secure business agreements across sectors including agriculture, aviation and AI. But the US president will also be seeking geopolitical progress, and particularly on the West Asia conflict. Chinese President Xi Jinping is hosting Trump at Zhongnanhai, the leadership's compound of the ruling Communist Party in Beijing. Only a handful of American leaders have ever stepped into the highly guarded headquarters. Richard Nixon met with Mao Zedong at the compound in 1972, the first time an American president had visited China. President George W. Bush and Barack Obama are the other two American leaders to have visited the compound. Now, the two leaders are also expected to hold a team meeting and diplomatic lunch before Trump departs for Washington. Trade discussions are expected to dominate Friday's agenda. Now, Trump is accompanied by several top U.S. business leaders, including Tesla CEO Elon Musk and NVIDIA chief Jensen Huang.
I just want to say on behalf of all of the great delegation that we have the greatest businessmen, the biggest, I guess the best in the world. We have amazing people, and they're all with me. Every single one of them. We asked the top 30 in the world, every single one of them said yes. And I didn't want the second or the third in the company. I wanted only the top. And they're here today to pay respects to you and to China. And they look forward to trade and doing business. And it's going to be totally reciprocal on our behalf.
In his Fox News interview, Trump appeared to preview one of the major deals, claiming that China had agreed to purchase 200 big Boeing aircraft. However, shares of Boeing slipped after the comments, suggesting investors had expected a larger commitment from Beijing. Trump was given a massive red carpet welcome on his arrival and met President Xi at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. But Thursday's superpower summit was dominated by Xi Jinping's strong warning on Taiwan. While Xi described the US-China relationship as the world's most consequential, he also warned that Taiwan remains the most important issue in China-US relations and it could trigger conflict if handled improperly. Trump avoided commenting publicly on Taiwan on Thursday, but US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent later told CNBC that the president would speak further on the matter in the coming days. Trump did address another major flashpoint, however, which is the conflict involving Iran. Speaking to Fox News, Trump said that Xi had effectively assured him that China was not preparing to provide military assistance to Tehran.
We discussed it. I mean, when you say support, they're not fighting a war with us or anything.
No.
He said he's not going to give military equipment. That's a big statement. He said that today. That's a big statement. He said that strongly. But at the same time, he said, you know, they buy a lot of their oil there, and they'd like to keep doing that. He'd like to see Hormuz Strait opened. I said, well, we didn't stop it. They did it, and then we stopped them. You know, sort of interesting. He joked. He said, you know, it's sort of, if they stopped it, then you stopped them. But they'd like to see it opened.
Trump also reacted to Xi's reference to the Thucydides trap, the theory that war becomes more likely when a rising power challenges an established one. In a Truth Social post early Friday, Trump said that Xi had very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps being a declining nation. Trump claimed that Xi was referring to America before his return to office and not the current administration. Trump wrote, and I'm quoting him here, 2 years ago, we were in fact a nation in decline. Now the United States is the hottest nation anywhere in the world, and hopefully our relationship with China will be stronger and better than ever before. And to give us more details, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Listen in.
President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping wrapped up their first major day of talks in Beijing, with Iran, trade, Taiwan, and global stability topping the agenda. And now day 2 starts. According to reports, President Trump is pressing China to help with de-escalation and relations with Iran and keep the Strait of Hormuz open. Both sides, according to the White House, agreed that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. At the same time, Xi Jinping warned that Taiwan remains the most dangerous issue in U.S.-China relations and cautioned that mishandling the issue of Taiwan could lead to a conflict. The summit so far has been very heavy on symbolism, but experts say the real goal is stabilizing relations between the world's two biggest economic powers in a period of rising global tensions. No major breakthrough yet, but both sides appear to be very focused on preventing direct confrontation while continuing strategic cooperation. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.